Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your body reading. Your first card out is the Eight of Water. So you're leaving a certain situation. You're doing a lot of self-discovery. Self-discovery. When things end, most people fall into two camps. The ones who hate change and will be upset for quite some time, trying desperately to hold on to people, places, and emotions that have run their course. And those who move on, appreciating what was, but understanding that it is no longer so. To be able to move on from things that have finished is a sign of maturity, but one that we often do not recognize as such. We may think it shows heartlessness. On the contrary, it creates space for more heart-filled experiences, okay? So you're leaving a certain situation. That's the root of the issue, okay? Um, Your subconscious reactions are the 10 of metal. Somebody has charmed you because it says charmed. Charmed. What are you charmed about? All good things. It is luck in its purest sense and is the indication of a charmed life where things seem to fall in your lap. You may not recognize it if your idea of being charmed is all yachts and mansions. But if you've always found yourself in work and have a loving partner and good health, you've won all the cherries in the slot machine. Appreciate your good fortune so that it sticks around and the yachts and mansions will follow. I don't know if I could handle that, Cancer. I don't know if I could live in a mansion. I hear about different celebrities that live in mansions. I mean, it just seems like a big place to live, and I don't know. Your conscious actions are stagnation, though. We have stagnation for water. So even though subconsciously you know what you have the ability to achieve, consciously you're dwelling in that four of water energy, which is stagnation, reflection, self-absorption. Ensure you are not getting stuck in a rut by opening yourself to new experiences. Your emotions may be very focused on your inner life at the moment, but that might mean that you are missing the things going on around you. It is fine to have a period of respite from worldly cares, but if you find that you are no longer getting enjoyment in your daily routine, this is a sign that you may need to spice things up again with a bout of being social and talking to others. Awaken your curiosity for the world again. So it could be that your schedule is getting to you right now. It may be kind of stressful. When I think of somebody who's sad because they don't really get enjoyment in their daily routine anymore, I think about depression because that is one of the symptoms of depression. They will ask you on a questionnaire, do you find little interest or pleasure in the things you used to love? And I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose anyone, but depression is anger turned inward. So it could be that you could be angry with someone or something, or maybe even a group of people, but instead of doing anything about it, you're turning your anger inward and blaming yourself. Maybe you need to socialize with new people. Now, your helpful influences is the diaphragm, the Wheel of Fortune, change, Wheel of Fortune. That's so weird, a picture of that on a card. Life stages will come to meet us even if we have not prepared for them. So you could be coming upon a new life stage. And it kind of reminds me of a childhood development book I've been reading, working on my own inner child. And we all go through stages, right? And each stage involves some sort of crisis we must overcome. There's always some sort of crisis. So you're going through, I don't want to say a crisis, because I don't like the wording of that, but I will say a new stage. And how far you embrace the energy of this card will depend on your feelings about change, because this is the card that turns things upside down. The out breath must naturally follow the in breath. Stagnation is bad for everyone, so even if the changes that are coming are not to your liking, you may well look back on this time as a defining period in your life. Alternatively, if you are going through a bad time, this is a wonderful indication that things are about to change. The wheel of fortune is ever turning, and good times will be here again. This too shall pass, okay? Whew. The final outcome is the nine of metal. Luck. Luck is on your side, okay? Nine of metal. Interesting. So metal is involving pentacles, money from career, ambition, status, inheritance. You're going to be independent. So this is the sort of luck that you just have to celebrate. Whether you drink or not, it is the sound of popping champagne corks and expensive dinners. Of course, if you do drink, you'll know that a hangover often accompanies such celebrations the next day. So do keep an eye on how you spend that work bonus or casino win, as you'd hate to get a financial hangover afterwards. So it looks like you got like a lot of money coming in for you. I'm going to pull out a Language of the Flowers card and we're going to end this reading. But despite feeling depressed, things are going to get better for you. It kind of reminds me of when I went off to college. And I've told this story before, but I used to be me and my mom, like we were best friends, and it was kind of like a high school dynamic, like she was jealous of me, and I didn't like her being jealous of me, and we would get in these little petty arguments, and I started going to therapy, and the therapist told me I should put up boundaries with her, and I did, and she got mad about those, of course, but I was going off to college, and the therapist looked at me and she said, "I'm happy for you. I think this is a new beginning for you. I see wonderful things for you," or however it was she worded it. And I was not happy. Like, I was not happy from leaving the life that I knew, but I did get better. When I was in college, I did get better. And I think you're going through something like that. There's somebody you were close to or something you really enjoyed doing, and you're leaving it. And you don't like it. That's why you're in that Four of Cups energy, because you got used to doing things, you were used to doing things another way, right? Um, Not all of us were taught about boundaries growing up. Some of us, when we were growing up, our parents, they did whatever they wanted, and we weren't allowed to have boundaries. We weren't allowed to have a sense of self. And this is emotional incest. This is abuse. And it's not right. So I don't know if that was your situation or not. But the reason why I bring up that example is because children that grew up in environments like that, when they finally do get out into the world, other people have to teach them that the world is generally not like that. like you getting a professional job. And if you try to get in somebody's business or go through their desk or act all nosy and you don't let them have boundaries, you can get in trouble. So the behavior that was okay in the family is not okay in the professional world. And that is when these children who were not permitted to have boundaries or a sense of self end up needing counseling, professional development, they end up needing help. We have communication. Jade Vine, communication. Somebody's been communicating with you, or they will be. That reminds me of that song. I heard it through the grapevine. So, communication, empowerment through clear communication and productive discussions is indicated, and you are reminded to speak up as you will find a positive outcome. So, going back to the boundaries example, it's okay to have boundaries, but you've got to speak up about what your boundaries are or about whatever it is you're trying to change. You've got to speak up about it. A change in lifestyle or travel appears to be on offer as our new friends and new pathways to beneficial groups and communities. Inventiveness, a chance to employ skills that may have not been used for a while or to their full effect. Healing and connection with the work of physical healers, especially those who are working in new ways. Now, the challenges for this card is you may be overcommitted to the spiritual and emotional needs of others. Okay, so there may be some sort of codependency involved. And that goes back to what I was talking about earlier about boundaries and learning to function in a new way or getting involved in a new world. There could also be misinterpretation of messages, and care must be taken with your reactions at present. So this is typical of Mercury retrograde, right? Energy surrounding the disruption of plans, travel arrangements, and electronic equipment is shown. So backup files and have a second option ready. So if you've got like your work on a computer or something, you need to back up your work, put it on like one of those little discs or whatever they call them now. I don't even know what they call them, but you need to back up your work because there's a lot of stuff going on at this time. And for some reason, I just thought of that Aladdin movie. A whole new world. Okay, a whole new world, right? A whole new world. You don't like this whole new world that's coming in for you, but it's coming. So this is all I have, okay? And I can completely understand not liking changes because we're used to feeling things a certain way, right? Like I'm trying to get out of codependency. And when I was codependent and I felt like I loved somebody, it felt like such a strong feeling, right? But I'm getting to a place where I'm feeling love in a different way. And some people may not like that with themselves. When some people move to feeling things in a different way, they're like, I don't like that feeling. I want to go back to the old way, and it's just the way it is. I mean, that 10 card was also about how we cannot stay in childhood, and like it or not, we all eventually end up becoming adults. Now, that doesn't mean you can't be a kid at heart. You can still be a kid at heart. You can still play with tarot cards. You can play with Legos. If you have an inner child, embrace that inner child. But um, you're coming into a whole new world of abundance and independence and happiness and fulfillment. You're just gonna be so happy. You just don't see it right now because it feels weird to you. Thank you.